Welcome into the beautiful, beautiful Mount Clemens Ice Arena, home of the USPHL's Detroit Showcase. And I'll whisper for you. Let's go to pure NPR vibes. Dan Kay and Lucas Jones, we were given gifts. And if there's one thing I tell everyone, can my soul be purchased? Of course, for gifts or coffee. If you'd like me to be a fan of you, just get me a gift. And the Detroit Fighting Irish did just that. They got us these wonderful, wonderful DFI robes. Look at us. It looks like we're going to fight for Cobra Kai at this point, Lucas. And I am so excited to be here today. And our goal here on the final day of the showcase is to recap some of Dan Kay's highlighter players, right? And Lucas J's highlighter players as well. The guys that stood out to us all weekend long as some of the superstars, the stellar performances, and in pure dad on a Sunday afternoon fashion, we'll be reading through our papers in our robes with a cup of joe and some Danishes, enjoying our time.
Absolutely. And what better way to enjoy a Sunday? Well, I can't say morning anymore. It's very clearly nearly the afternoon here, but morning for some folks at home who are just waking up with us. And, you know, the fact that, Dan, we could even come in here on this final day and flip through a program.
Yeah.
You know, just you have everyone in front of you. You have, you know, kind of every team that's going to be here, every roster if you get into a pinch. It's just absolutely fantastic. And, Dan,
yeah.
Where do you want to start here?
I want to start with the Cincinnati Junior Cyclones, and this has been a really fun team to watch in their first season as an organization in the USPHL. Our best bud, Dan Bradley, on the broadcast for them. The incredible coaching staff, Jim Mischel, Jamie Antello, Tom Winrod, the trainer, Mile Merck. You look at this squad, they're doing it right, they're doing it professionally, and they're ready to compete right away. Right now, they're actually on the power play behind us here. The power play, as we say. I'm losing my voice, though. Lucas, we've been on the road. I am exhausted at this point. But we got 5 minutes left in this one, a 1-0 game. They're hanging tight with this MJDP team right now. But you look at this Cincinnati Junior Cyclone squad, and one of the guys that really stood out to me was our star of the game, Brendan Walk, who is a young man, came from the Hudson Havoc, and this guy really, really battles. He's small, plays large, and he's somebody who, when Jim Mitchell was building a team, he was a guy he needed to bring with him in his mind.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense why, right? It's because you talk about the size you bring to an organization. Sometimes it's literal size, right? Big bodies throwing a lot of physicality around. A lot of times it's skating big, right? It's playing big. It's showing up in big moments. And I think that's what Brendan did. He showed up in huge moments on the ice, really made himself impact player. I really like pointing out these high percentage guys, right, who, you know, more often than not find themselves in the types of places you want guys to find them in. Skates well without the puck, a really good complement to a lot of different players on this team. He's one of those guys I think you can build really an organization around.
Then I look at Drake Barnish, and Drake Barnish, along with Nick Cesarini of the Metro Jets, are in a constant back-and-forth race for most games played in the history of the USPHL. These two guys, every time they take the ice, they break the tie. Basically, the only way to guarantee one of them is going to hold the record by the end of the year is to win the cup and win the championship.
And what a way to win that, right? to get as far as you can, and then all of a sudden say, oh, by the way, not only did I make it to the championship, I also win most games played.
Yeah, and you look at net, you go to Blake Mitchell, and you say, you know, whenever you have family behind the bench in the coaching staff, yep. Lucas, for the folks watching around the world in USPHL Nation here, great suit coming through the building right now. Hold on, look at this thing. Look at the digs. Look at that. I showed up here in my. Oh, you got Coach Ram there, too. Coach Ram's ready to go. Look at this guy. Coach Ram, we do a little segment. It's a fake segment behind the scenes where we power rank coaches and how quickly they would beat Dan in a boxing match if we ever did a celebrity boxing match. Coach Ram, towards the top of that list. This is a guy who's got the leverage, and I think an uppercut would put Dan Kay down in about 3.5 seconds.
I think if he fought you, he wouldn't even know he was fighting. I think he might accidentally win that boxing match.
Yeah, I think he would just back and walk into the rink and get me. But Blake Mitchell, Lucas, this is a young man who had an incredible performance for the Cincinnati Junior Cyclones with us on the call. He gets post to post. He doesn't make the flashy save because he doesn't need to. And that's something as a netminder I think that's severely underrated, is the ability to position yourself correctly where you're not always kind of pulling on the string, pulling on the strand, pulling on the loose ends, trying to find your way to make the stop.
Yeah, and sometimes the goalie who makes the flashy save is the one that everybody looks at and says, wow, that netminder was really good. But it's the guy who doesn't make the flashy save, right? And just like you said, when you already know where you need to be, the puck or the netminder position, when you're playing the puck, you're always just making position saves. The body's already where it needs to go. It's high hockey IQ.
And Lucas, Ricky Lias, who's leaving the building right now, that's Lias, not Lias, Ricky Lias. You know, you look at this guy, Coach Ram staring at us right here. Look at this guy. He's staring at us live on Hockey TV here, enjoying ourselves. But you look at Ricky Lias, and this kid's a 2004. This young man can skate. This young man can get after it. This guy's got a future in the game at a Dayton, PA. He's 5'8" with room to grow at this age range. This guy puts some muscle on. And you want to talk about putting muscle on, putting on mass? Look at Coach Rammer behind the bench. Rammer's a guy who can put mass. Don't you point me out. I'll point right back at you. I don't know what he's saying because I have a headset on, but I yelled at him.
I think he might have been thanking us, Dan.
Was he thanking us? Oh, no. I have made a huge mistake. A huge mistake. I get fired up, okay? You got me. I'm all dressed up right now. By the way, the suits this weekend. The suits. Incredible guys as we get through the weekend. That's how you do it. Yep. You know, you show up to the rink, they make you suit up correctly. But I want to keep going through this Lake Erie Bighorns roster because Noah Granata did something last night in net for this side with the Lake Erie Bighorns that I think was incredible to watch. I talked to him. He leaves the game for 6 minutes, okay? Comes out of the gate slow. Couple pucks go by him.
Yep.
He comes out of the game, and we're thinking to ourselves, man, that's an early pull from Coach Ram. You know, we're looking at it like, that's a pretty tough pull right there. He mentally reset himself. He pulled himself. He said, I need to get myself into the right place. I can't put my team up against it like this. Sits out for 6 minutes, comes back in and goes shutty for the rest of the game. There's McCrimmon, baby. This is the best guy in the biz. Can I just say, what is this? Oh, he's not. I'm in his. Oh no! And talk about our rankings for Dan K. Box as a hockey coach. That is the number one man right there. This guy would knock me out in one. He would just look at me and I'd fall over like a leaf.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't go well either. I think Dan. Before we get back into this discussion about Granada, I think the general consensus is that every single hockey coach in the USPHL is tied for first of guys you don't want to box. Except for,
I'd go after Bombay.
You'd go after Bombay. Yeah,
I'd go after Bombay.
I think you could.
I think I could win against the Cougars bench.
Yeah, he's tall, but you know what else? A little lanky. If you get inside,
I'm tall and lanky too. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
It's going to be like a bunch of new.
I've been adding mass nonstop. All the fried food we're eating on the road. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to lean into them like butterbean.
Wrong kind of mass, I think.
But no, we keep going. No Granada though. That performance to reset yourself, to recharge, to recalibrate, and come out and battle that way. Absolutely incredible to watch, and I think that normalizing that game, the mental game, right? Being able to reset, recharge, recalibrate, and get back after it, congratulations to him. And what is the Cesarini family eating right now? What are they eating? Is that like National Conies? They eating hot dogs for breakfast? We going dogs? Is this dogs? What does he got? What is that? Oh, it's Dunkin'. Oh, they come from New York and they bring their Dunkin'. Because you got to have Dunkin' everywhere you go. I love Dunkin'. I love Dunkin', okay? We're in Massachusetts a lot, though. You got to go to Timmy Ho's. Timmy Hortons is even better. That's it. You know.
Yeah, no, so I think one last point for sure, and I really want to make this a really huge point of emphasis, too, is the ability to not only know yourself well enough to know that you need a mental reset.
Yeah.
But to have the confidence to tell your coach, and for coach to provide that confidence.
Soderberg just went shutty again. Soderberg goes shutty again. So this young man, I think we're the jinx. Because the only game he's allowed goals in was the one game we called. Mm-hmm. He has 4 starts this year where he's allowed a total of 1 goal. He had a .33 goals against average when we get on the air. He had a .981 saves percentage. He gives up 3 with us on the broadcast. We're a jinx.
We might be the jinx. But, you got to give a lot of credit to Lake Erie, like we're saying about it starts with the coaching staff there to know that these players are in a position where if they don't feel right, they can pull themselves out of the game, and it's fine, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's fine. You want to really give props there to creating a really healthy playing environment to that team.
Where's my Toledo? Where's my Toledo?
You know what I realized?
It's right past the local news.
I didn't have Lake Erie in mind because we ripped it out for rosters the other day.
I did rip it out. I got a little crazy yesterday. Toledo. I want to talk about the Cherokee here, okay? And I want to talk about. There's a million guys I could discuss right now when it comes down to this Toledo roster. But if I'm talking, one of my favorites in the game, it's got to be Bailey Bird, the year 2001 from Wyandotte, Michigan. And this guy, Bailey Bird is soaring around the ice. This guy he's a flying high, fast-moving, high-riding type of player. And the guy gets the job done day in and day out. Bailey Bird's just a great watch.
Call us a couple of ornithologists, because we'll be bird watching all season long.
I don't know what that word means.
But it's really incredible to watch somebody really be electric on the ice, not just for themselves as a single skater, to get out and obviously make the plays to make these incredible movements around the ice, but also you talk about supporting the teammates, getting the puck around, being an on-ice general, skating long shifts when he needs to, skating short shifts when he's asked to, right? It's doing the things that coach asks the right way, supporting the rest of your team, being a leader, stepping back when needed. I think that's what separates Bird for me.
And there goes the MJDP, and there goes that man again, Mr. Soderberg, with yet another shutout. This guy can't give up a goal at this point. If you are moving too fast within the vicinity of an MJDP net, you will be stopped by Mr. Soderberg. Lucas, I also talk about Bryce Davis. And the Bryce is right with Davis here, the man from Elmore, Ohio. This guy, you want to talk about someone who can fit in right now on a Division III roster in the NCAA level and make a difference? It's Bryce Davis. He's a year 2001. He's 6'2", 195. He's got the size. He's got the skill. And I want to be able to get into a board battle once in a while, right? I want a forward that's not afraid to scrap it up. I want a forward that's willing to get in there and put out a big hit once in a while, set the tone. That's what Bryce Davis does every day.
Yeah, it's the skill, the size, the speed, all in one package. And I think that's one of the things that we've seen about this Cherokee squad is they develop players who can succeed in a lot of unique situations.
Yes.
They can match up with anybody. They can be paired up with anybody. And I really like the look
my foot fell asleep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I like the look that Davis provides.
Me too, and I didn't mean to cut you short there, but we go to David Crandall, too, at the defenseman position. This guy's physical. It's a physical bunch in Toledo. They play up and down the ice physically. You look at the Midwest Blackbirds now. Let's go there as Coach walks in here. We're talking about him. We're going to talk about you, Coach. We're going to put you on the spot. And I got to flip through my book. I got to flip through it. And you talk about what Coach Philbin is doing here, and what he's trying to do is he's trying to build a culture, okay? And this is something we talked about in the broadcast last night that I love about this guy. He just gets it. He just gets it, okay? And if you want to play in a place with a coach that understands the game from both on the ice and off, behind the bench, a guy who does it right, you play for the Midwest Blackbirds. And this guy, he's got some talent in his team. And Riley Lubers, man, a year 2003, a young man from Albion, Illinois. Albeit, this guy's pretty darn good.
Lubers really put on a show yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a younger skater, but he skates with an authority that sometimes takes a few more years to develop. So you talk about having a really high ceiling.
Yes.
I think Lubers has a very high ceiling in terms of continuing to develop.
This is fun. Look at these. Look at these.
This is a nightmare for a guy who needs to really focus. And I really like that Coach Kenny Miller is watching you do this as he walks in.
Look at Kenny Miller coming in. Where would Kenny Miller rank in Dan K Celebrity Box as a hockey coach? That's the question. I don't know where he would rank.
He would wipe the floor with you.
I know he would. I know he would, but he would be pretty tough to deal with. And you look at it. How about Jake Funge, the defenseman? Okay, this guy is not fungible at all. This guy can't be moved. This guy. What's an NFT? A non-fungible token.
So fungible is a word meaning changeable.
Fungible is like Dan. Hey, so hanging out with Dan K. He's pretty fungible.
Nope.
He's a fungible guy. It's a good time.
Basically, fungible means not a changeable. So if it's a non-changeable token, it means that the unique characteristics of that digital piece of media cannot be changed or altered. So it's unique. I think it's a bunch of nonsense, but
I don't understand this whole cryptocurrency world. But you know what? Let people make money. That's what I always say. But Jake Funge, man, another 2003. Look at how young this team is with the 04s, the 03s. This Midwest team. There's a lot of learning to be done right now. There's a lot of teaching. You're Lake Erie walking. Coach, enjoy your trip back, Coach. Enjoy your trip back. Enjoy your trip. Have fun. Stay safe. Sleep on the bus a little bit. A little slumbering. We'll try our best. We always try to stay safe, but I can't always promise that it's going to happen.
No.
How about Coach Ram? We're putting together a video right now of all the coaches lip-syncing the song "Don't Stop Believing." Coach Rammer, he might have led the way in that one.
Yeah, we had you had a lot of talent on the ice, A lot of talent off the ice, too. And that's something that we're going to be really excited to bring you this upcoming week. In this, getting to know coaches series, kind of getting these coaches out from behind the bench. Some hidden talents we're finding out as well. Some real showmen out here. A
lot of showmen. And you talk about showmen, that's Joaquin Fault and Jason McCrimmon with this Motor City Hockey Club. They battled all weekend long, and you look, it's Tachenko who is really the skater that I want to look at from this side, the left winger, another year 04, the man from Ukraine. If you watch Seinfeld, you were told the Ukraine was not weak, and this young man from the Ukraine is not as well. Tachenko is an absolute monster.
I got a chance to watch this team a little bit yesterday. I was taking some photos of Motor City, and, it's a team that, yes, they are a little young, but you can see where they're pulling together. You can see that team mentality. I think Tachenko is one of the guys that sort of steps up, is a little bit of that leader, that more visible kind of a guy. But this team through and through is very much a team that is focused on chemistry. I think that's the biggest thing that I noticed about them. That bench as well with both of those coaches, it is a real yin and yang between those two. They've got their specialties. They're looking at different things on the ice. They're pulling guys off to the side as well. And that was the coolest thing to watch, is in the middle of a game, pulling guys off to the side, giving them direction, giving them instructions, helping them out.
It's teaching moments. Again, we talked with Coach Philbin about it last night with his Midwest team, and he said, I just wasn't happy with it. He's like, I feel like the guys get a lead, and there's just not that push.
Right.
There's not that push, right? What did Tiger Woods say to the Ryder Cup team, to the USA guys, right before they went out to play against Team Europe and beat them? He said 4 words. Step on their necks, right? And that's a winner's mentality. Mm-hmm. You look at that Michael Jordan mentality. You refuse to lose a game. There's an ability to be good. There's an ability to be talented, but there's a completely different thing, and it's called a winning mentality. And it's just the same way that losing is contagious. Winning is contagious too. And when you build a locker room around winning the game, things go well. When we talk about building a locker room around winning a game, how about Coach Quenville? This guy has been everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere, okay? He's been Michelle Branch to me this weekend. Everywhere to me. When I close my eyes, it's QIC.
Well, he's got 2 organizations here, MJDP and Metro Jets, and he hasn't had to step behind the bench once.
Nope.
He has full confidence. You talk about trusting people you surround yourself with. He trusts those coaches to coach these teams to perfection, and they have done it to perfection. Well, he's run an event to perfection.
It's been incredible. It's been top-notch this whole weekend. We've enjoyed it, not just because we got gifts, but yes, when I get gifts, it's a lot cooler. I really do. I can be bought. And now we go to the pitch. That's good. I like this. I like what we're doing here. The audience participation is a whole part of being here. If I could just flip through the darn page. Lucas, where are they? Why have I lost my Pittsburgh Vengeance? Because I have my notes, but I need my roster. We're still flipping.
Oh, no.
We're still flipping. Lucas, where are they? Where are the
Did we accidentally
I got him.
No,
I got him.
Okay, good.
I got him, you crazy person. Nick Tessier. Let's start with Tessier, okay?
Yeah.
Nick Tessier, this is a year 2002, 5'10", out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you what, this young man is absolutely stellar. He popped one in the back of the net for us. And what I want to talk about with the Pittsburgh Vengeance a little bit is a former Metro Jet coach, Steve Kruk, who's behind the bench for the Pittsburgh Vengeance. And Kruk has a roster right now that I've talked to multiple coaches here this weekend, multiple scouts. And I asked him, who's the team that surprised you the most? Who's the team that scared you the most this weekend? And every single one said Krucky's Pittsburgh Vengeance side. And we got a chance to see Kruk at the bar, having a little dinner, a little after the first night at the showcase. And, this is a guy who understands it. He gets it. And he's really putting it together right now, one step at a time. And if I'm a player right now around the country, this is a team that if you add some depth to it, I'm being told that they could be a championship contender. I'm not kidding.
We watched that first game against Metro Jets development program, right? And we always try to lead in with a little bit of a storyline. And our storyline for that game was, well, Pittsburgh's roster isn't quite as long as some of the other teams.
Yeah.
And they showed us that doesn't matter. They got out, and they leaned on that MJDP team. If the development program had a skater on a puck, they had about 4 steps before they were met physically by a member of this Vengeance team. You had forwards hitting. You had defensemen hitting. I think you had a little bit of netminder hitting in there as well, getting in on the fun.
And you know what it takes to have a short bench and to come out and compete the way that this team did this weekend? You go up against an MJDP team on their home ice and you beat them. I mean, that takes stick-to-itiveness would be the word. Probably the biggest word I've ever used, too.
Well, that was the thing, right? They got out to that lead, and they just never gave it back.
Yeah.
They didn't sit back and play prevent. They went forward and continuously played this offensive, physical, meet them at the blue line, meet them at center ice. It was an incredibly impressive performance, an impressive team performance, and those guys throwing everything they had out there on the ice. You were seeing guys playing long shifts, double shifts, short shifting, triple shifting. The team organization, the team chemistry, one of the most impressive squads I've seen here.
As the Fort Wayne Spacemen come in, Major Dan to goal control here. This team knows how to score the puck. But you look at it, I like Brady Palauskis as well, the defenseman, okay? This is a year 2004, 6'1". He's a local Michigander, right? This is a guy who comes into a rink in Michigan in front of hometown fans, in front of the hometown crowd, and has to battle against it. And it has to battle against his squad. And Brady, to me, Lucas, when you're 6'1", and you're at 0-4,
yep,
you've got what's called basically the silo, right? You can fill this thing up with the muscle. You can grow. You can build over time. And you can get physical in this squad. And with Coach Kruk, he's a no-nonsense coach, right? He wants his boys back on each end. And this is a defenseman you trust on the puck. You could see it by the amount of time he gets on the ice in Krucky's system. And you're going to see this young man for years to come throughout this hockey world as he grows.
Absolutely. The development potential is there. The mix, especially on the entire team of vets and young guys, is there. They have all the pieces. They have all the ingredients. And I think you've got the right coach at the helm to be able to cook up something special.
That's 100%. You look at this whole team from defense out. You build a good team from the netminder out. Coach Philbin knows that very well as he walks. But I love the hat he wears. I just tell you that much. Pretty cool. But no, I mean, you look at Brady. You look at the squad that this team's put together. If I'm a player right now, fill the depth. Fill the depth. If you're looking for a place to go, there's no better place to go than Pittsburgh, because we talked to Coach Gordon Bombay about it.
Yes, we
Coach
did.
Dahlman of the Chicago Cougars, and he said maybe the hardest fought game they had all weekend was against his Pittsburgh side. He said these boys don't give in.
No, and this is a vengeance team that I've loved to watch. Since we've
Oh,
since
the
they've joined.
snacks.
Oh, the snack truck.
The snacks are coming through.
We need security on the snack truck.
Get the snacks.
But this is a vengeance team that I've loved watching the last couple of years. I've loved the organization.
You've been a vengeance guy, by the way, since the start.
I have been a vengeance guy since the beginning. I've loved the product that this team puts out. I love the mentality. I love the physicality. I love the skill, and I'm so happy to have gotten a chance to watch that game against MJDP, because I think that was huge. That was one of the most fun games that I, on a personal note, have gotten a chance to watch all weekend.
And you look at it, we remind all the fans at home that DanKShow.com, after this weekend's over, I'm going to be putting together our Highlighter Players article that we do after each of our showcases, each of our trips, that we write for scouts and coaches around the country to spotlight these players that we talk about here today and throughout the weekend. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out for. What's our goal, Lucas? Our number one goal is player first. It's to take these guys and take these families and allow them to navigate this hockey world better than they would without resources, right? So long this junior hockey world has lived without resource. And why? Because it helps the business model sometimes. For some folks in this world, the lack of information allows you to make money. Here for us, we're about helping you families, you parents, you players navigate through this hockey world and get to the right place for you. Everybody's path is different. Everyone's path ends up on a different spotlight, on a different line, and that's what we're all about here.
Yeah, I mean, for us, there's really no other way to go about it, right? Yep. You come into this and you're helping out players. You're making sure that parents are getting the information that they need. And when players are more informed, when parents are more informed, it helps the product overall. And I think that one of the best things that we've seen this season is the level of parity increasing across the league. It's not lip service to the idea. It's that any team can go into any game and have a decent, good shot at winning, being competitive, and showing why people should go play for them.
You know what else is parity? A pirate's shoulder. Squawk! Metro Jets. Let's talk about the Metro Jets. You look at it and you talk about the guys we've talked about for years, right? Mocknick taking it to Mocknick 5. You talk about Nicholas Cesarini. Nick Cesarini, number one, we've made friends with the family at this point. I feel like we're part of the Cesarini family now. But you look at what these guys do as the Jets. Look at the jerseys on Metro. The new alts, baby. Silky threads.
Absolutely.
The boys. Saturdays are for the boys, but Sundays are for the Silky Threads apparently today, eh?
The uniforms out here, the rest of the USPHL should really stop and take note.
Yeah.
Because the uniforms out here this weekend have been second to none. The alts that these teams are rocking have been incredible.
I stole this from you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you look at Cesarini. This is a young man who's been doing it for years in this organization for the Metro Jets and continues to have his success. If I'm a scout, Cesarini is a guy I build around. He's a small forward, undersized forward, but he plays just big. He gets to the puck. We've been talking about him ad nauseum since the first time we saw him, Lucas, year in and year out. Then you look at guys like Seth Francois, who says au revoir to that puck. You look at the net. Will Augustine, okay, Daniel Misbehavin' Miscavish, and Louis-Pierre Fortier, de Francois. En français, the Roi de Croix, the king of the crease.
Did you have to look that up specifically for today's show?
I did not. I made that up. I made that up for today's show.
One of the things we said on that Metro Jets broadcast was that the fact that you've got 3 netminders that could start anywhere in the country right now, and you've got them on the same team, competing to make each other better, is dangerous for anyone they go up against.
Yeah.
It talks not just about the development, but about how much people want to play for the Metro Jets, that they're willing to look at this roster and say, you know what, I might lose some starting time.
Yeah.
I might be able to go somewhere and start 40 games this season, but I would rather be here developing and working on it.
And how about Hocus, man, who is magical? He is a hocus pocus. Herman is big time. The boys from the Cherokee continue to roll in. It took you guys a while. What, the bags get stuck on the bus? The rest of the guys are gone. The Michigan State Spartans had, oof. My apologies.
We've seen the way that some of these teams pack the bus. We've seen more than a few hockey sticks trying to shove bags into
wedging bags in, just wedging them in. But yeah, I want to go to the defenseman position. You know, we could talk about Mergic, you could talk about Lewis Mastay, Carpenter, Iuter, and Martin Lindback. Patty Hayes.
Yeah.
Patrick Hayes moves up from the MJDP onto this Metro side. Doesn't just move up and have to take on the role with the Metro Jets, the big club. Changes positions to become a defenseman with the squad from the forward position, and now playing at the blue line, still having success.
It's a tough transition to make, not just in terms of the skill set, but mentally as well, right? It's always tough for a guy to make that transition, but the fact that he made it, that he was willing to make it to help the team, to fill a gap that they felt like they needed to fill, again, it shows you not just how great it is to play for Metro, Dan, but how dedicated Patty Hayes is to this organization, how dedicated he is to the game of hockey, and how willing he is to just go say, you know what, maybe this will work. Maybe this is a little bit better for me.
Joaquin Fault over here. This guy's just the best.
Showman.
Guy's just the best. Guy's the best. He's an absolute showman. He understands it. He's fun for the guys on the bench. He understands what he's doing. Love this guy. Lucas, before we go to our next team, I want to remind folks that we partner with Remastered Sleep. And, you know, you can stop snoring with just a sip. It's a water bottle. We call it the water bottle of your dreams, okay? This water bottle, you got a snorer in the house, somebody who won't stop snoring. Well, guess what? You can go to remasteredsleep.com, and you can order your water bottle today. Lucas did it. We travel together on the road all year long, and he just wouldn't stop snoring. Guess what? Goodbye, snores. Hello, Z's. Lucas, it worked for him, and it can work for you. Go to remasteredsleep.com now and stop that pesky snoring with just a sip. It's a water bottle. It works. We are telling you right now, it'll work for us. It'll work for you. Dan K Show 10 at checkout for 10% off. Let's talk Fort Wayne Spacemen.
What a team here.
Team.
Fun team to watch. They get out after it. This is a team that doesn't know what the term backwards is. They are forwards all the time, and it's so much fun to watch. It's a great brand of hockey.
Yeah, and I really like Matt Mazzina, the man from Jackson, New Jersey, and through and through, just like us here, Lucas. And he's a year 2002, 6'3", 190. Guy shoots it with the left hand and can put it in the back of the net at any time.
There are a lot of goal-scoring threats on this team, and there have been for a number of years. And I think he's continuing that legacy, that tradition of spacemen who are shooting for the moon here. And maybe even a little bit beyond, too, with the amount of goals they're able to put up. A team that continues to improve year after year, and it's because of the personnel that they're able to bring in, the coaching staff they're able to bring in. They're a dedicated bunch all across the board. I mean, we had so much fun watching them this weekend. I think one of the biggest things we learned is that getting a chance to see these teams up close and personal, including the Fort Wayne Spacemen, you can watch a lot on hockey TV, and with a good hockey TV setup can show you a lot. But, man, you just got to get out here in person and watch.
Lucas, I just got a message from Brett Bruneteau, former draft pick of the Washington Capitals, picked right after Nicholas Backstrom in that year. And he's asking me, he's at MetLife Stadium right now. He's hungry, about to watch the Jets game, and he wants to know what to eat. First question I have from him is, why are you at a Jets game? Second question is, Lucas, do you have a concession at the stadium I could tell him?
Well, concession at the stadium?
Yeah, he's at the stadium. He forgot to eat before. I told him to go to Harold's Deli. He didn't go.
I think you got to keep it simple at these types of things. I think you either got to go with some kind of sausage sandwich or a hot dog. I'm not a fancy guy when it comes to stadium food. You're not trying to change it up, right? Especially if you're a fan of the team. One of the weirdest things is going to a Yankee game and seeing, I love sushi, big sushi guy, but at a stadium, I don't know if that's my food.
Gentlemen, who's this walking in? I can't get CCM bags. We get the Cougs? It's the Cougs! You know what? That Cougars. Let's go talk about that Cougars right now, okay? Let's get into that one here. It's Bill Swirsky super fans for a moment, okay? There's only 3 things in the world that I love, okay? It's Da Cougars, it's Mike Ditka, and it's a little bit of Polish sausage.
Da Cougs,
Da Cougs, Da Cougs, Da Cougs, Da Cougs, Da Cougs, Da Cougs, Da Cougars. Let's talk about them. So their coach looks like Gordon Bombay, okay?
100%.
Gordon Bombay 100% looked like Emilio Estevez behind the bench. But let's get into the players here. Gertis Palauskis is where I want to start. This guy is stellar.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a young gun, right? He's an 04 left winger, first season with the team, and already, I think, establishing himself as one of the premier guys in this organization.
I am going to try to pronounce his hometown.
Oh, boy. Be careful here, Dan.
Lisle, Illinois.
I would go the same way.
Not Lissel.
No, sir. I don't think. You know what, though? You know what it's going to be now?
Maybe it is.
It's going to be Lissel.
Maybe it is Lissel. But another guy I want to talk about, a year 2001, who makes the move over from the Philadelphia Hockey Club to the Chicago Cougars is Jacob McDonald. And E-I-E-I-E-I-O, is this young man good. McDonald has been ba-da-ba-ba-ba, loving his time in Chicago.
I think the most interesting thing about him is there's a number of ways that he can approach a situation because of his huge skill set. We saw him in that game get offensive, right? Get a little tricky in the offensive end. We saw him pinch the boards, play well at the blue line. We saw him get involved physically. When you have a guy that can really do everything, there's a guy who'll do anything for you.
Yeah. And now Jack Parks, defenseman, giant human, large and in charge, hard hitting, check finishing, goal scoring. This guy, Jack Parks, he's got the name of like an old school. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at him trying to play it cool like he doesn't even see us here.
Hey, look at Johnny Schwartz. Look at Johnny Schwartz, movie star. Emilio! Over here walking into the building right now. Ladies and gentlemen, autographs after the game today from Gordon. Okay, autographs. He can do it before. He can give the time. But no, I want to talk about Jack Parks of this side here. Yep. The right defenseman, he's big. He's a year 2001. And the guy he does what coach needs out of him, okay? He'll battle. He'll get it mixed up along the boards. But from the blue line, that clap bomb is something else.
Yeah, I mean, Jack.
My shirt is opening up here. Oh, no.
Jack, I think, is one of the most resolute players on this team. He doesn't get moved very often. He finds a way, right? It is that tenacity. It is getting in there. And, Dan, check out that date of birth on Jack Parks real quick.
Where is it? That's today?
That's today.
Happy birthday, Jack Parks.
Da, 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 da.
Happy birthday, Jack Parks.
Da, 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 da.
It's your birthday at a showcase.
Da-da.
So now Dan K sings poorly to you.
Thank you for not getting us involved in a copyright lawsuit on that one.
That's why you did that. Yeah, you have to pay for happy birthday. Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of crazy.
That's the craziest thing about being in the media industry. I never knew. Mm-hmm. And I've sang happy birthday before, and it costs us money.
Absolutely.
You can't do it. You can't sing happy birthday all the way through.
No, can't be done. But you like I said, Jack is I think a really tough player. I think he fits this squad well. And Dan, I think I know where you might go next for the last star player on the Cougars here.
Why don't you go for it? Because I think you know what it is.
It's Leonard. It's Michael Leonard, the netminder. You face a flurry, a barrage, an all-out assault, and you keep your team in it with position saves, with show-stop saves, with all types of saves. It was fantastic watching him play hockey.
I'm playing a new game right now.
What?
Dan K finds a birthday. Devin Mastay, it's your birthday as well. Your birthday it is. We can't sing the song. It's not in the budget. Congratulations on your birthday, Devin Mastay.
Yeah,
you keep talking.
Are you just going to keep finding birthdays?
100%. You keep going. It's Devin Mastay's birthday. It's Jack Parks' birthday. We got to all wish everyone a happy birthday.
Well, I think one of the big things you and I were talking about Leonard's performance was the fact that you stay mentally and physically tough through the whole game. You give your team a chance. You keep your team in it. And there's an awareness that I think you sometimes don't really see among netminders that he has developed, I think, into someone who really operates as a sixth skater. And I think there's a confidence as well around the net, outside of the net, with the paddle. We saw him make blocker saves. We saw him, get into positions. We saw him move post to post too. That's my favorite thing. Sometimes you see these bigger guys, they rely so much on their side. They're not nimble in the crease, and he doesn't, right? He is fantastic in the crease, moving post to post. I think one of the more talented goaltending performances I've seen this weekend.
You've opened up a real floodgate here. We missed Ricky Elias's birthday of the Lake Erie Bighorns. We missed Nick Ram's birthday this weekend. We're missing birthdays all over the place. We missed McCarthy Clark had a birthday to start the weekend, the year 2003.
Weren't you the one who was talking to me about how there's a confluence of birthdays among hockey players?
There is. So that's actually a real story because it's about the majority of professional hockey players were born in January or February, and it's because of that age-out timing. So they're usually playing with older players at a younger age, so therefore their skills tend to develop differently, and they look better on the ice, so therefore they get drafted more often.
And I would say that can't be true because I was born in January and I'm not a professional NHLer.
Well, that's your problem, and you got to deal with that. Tomorrow's Jackson Molesky's birthday. I feel like I'm on Good Morning America right now.
Is this the fourth inning in every Yankee game? We're just announcing birthdays now?
100%. I'm basically John, it's me, Susan. That was a terrible Susan Waldman impression. I tried my best.
You did try your best here, Dan. Well, I'll say this, Dan. As you
one last birthday we missed, Riley Lubers. We talked about him on the show. We didn't even mention his birthday. It was not today, but it was 2 days ago. Walker Radcliffe, Motor City Hockey Club netminder, birthday today. Happy birthday, Walker Radcliffe. Walker, Texas Ranger. That's it. I think we did it.
That's it. We got through the whole program.
Except for the Detroit Fighting Irish.
Because you got to save
best for last.
Because our apparel provider.
If you get us a gift, we'll talk about you. If you get us a gift, we'll do anything you want.
Especially if that gift is one of the most comfortable robes I've ever owned.
This is an incredible robe, and I'm never leaving it. I'm driving all the way. We have to get in a car and drive back to New Jersey at the end of this. We are excited to do so in our robes. One of the guys that I want to talk about here for this squad is a guy we've watched over the years, a 6'4" tall, 205-pound guy in Bryce Ayat. Real good.
Huge. Right? A huge skater, huge player, huge for the team. This team is one of the toughest teams I think I've seen from the Fighting Irish. They're no nonsense. They hit hard. They finish their checks. They finish their plays. And they are a real family bunch. It does feel like a really, really tight-knit squad in Detroit.
And then how about Shane Romback? This is the guy who, when I watch and we talk about highlighter players, guys who just stand out, who you just know when they have the puck, Romback is that guy. I think he was probably the most floored I was by a player all weekend individually. Yep. I think Romback was somebody who the moment I stepped into the rink, I went, oh, that's Shane Romback. That is a young man, 2001 at a Macomb, Michigan, who can get the job done. And Romback is a local guy in Michigan. Coach Shaheen brings him into the Detroit Fighting Irish, and this is a team on the mend, on the turnaround, on the grow. And I think that he is going to instill a lot of that Dan Vasquez large defenseman power into this squad.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting things about him was he kind of fades is the wrong word. I would say he blends into the team presence, right? He's skating out there, taking the shifts, moving the puck, doing the things you need to do. And then when he finds a space, when he finds an opening, becomes a superstar.
Yeah.
Right? You see him knife through defenses when he sees an opening. If he feels like he can get to the net, he fires that on net. He's out there getting his own rebounds. He's out there blocking shots. It's a different kind of two-way player, right? You're not always focused on him because he does so well in a team environment. Yeah. But then when he gets that chance, good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the Dan K Show from Michigan. We look at this, and Lucas, we started this tour. We were in Wayne, New Jersey, calling hockey games in the Ice Vault Arena. We then, on Tuesday, we went to Boston, Massachusetts. Wednesday, we were in Brooklyn, New York. Thursday, we were in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Friday, we were in Tampa, Florida, all by car. Saturday in Estero, Florida. Sunday in West Palm Beach. Fort Myers. I don't even remember where we went to. Then we were in Kentucky in a golf match, made our way up to Michigan, where we now head back home so that we can go straight to Boston again. What a trip. What a time. We thank every single team that's been along this journey with us on the Dan K Show Barnstorming Tour. We have one last barn to storm before we take 4 days off and do it again. This time of year is so great. We are so happy for all the parents, all the players, all the fans, everybody around the country watching right now on Hockey TV and in the building today for supporting not just what we do, but what these players do. This hockey world, this junior hockey brand, does not exist if not piled up tops the hard work of all the parents and families and billet parents and billet families and coaches and scouts and players that make this whole thing possible. It is a family endeavor, and that's what it continues to be here with us.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic road trip. We've logged a lot of miles. We have drank a lot of gas station coffee.
A lot of gas station coffee. Too much gas station coffee.
Too much, and that's why we're going to reward ourselves with a large black coffee from Tim Hortons on our way out of town. Maybe some Timbits, maybe another sausage biscuit sandwich. That was a great move yesterday.
Really good move by me.
And we're going to head back to New Jersey. And I think that does it, Dan.
Lucas, your parting words for today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, when Dan K's on the mic, it is always hockey night. Thank you for watching the most watched show in junior hockey by, at this point, a zillion times over the competition. We enjoy talking to you. We hope you enjoy listening to us, and I know I like listening to myself talk. That's us. We're in the program. We made it in. Look at that. That's what we do. Is the Toledo Cherokee's still filing into the building. You guys are late. Hurry up. Get to the locker room. Let's go, boys.
That's an extra skating practice next week.
I'll let Coach Miller know. Thank you to Remastered Sleep. RemasteredSleep.com. Again, Dan K Show 10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Thank you to Elite Junior Profiles. That's EliteJRProfiles.com. Parents, families, players, it's not just for your hockey player. If you've got an athlete at home, you're having trouble in the recruiting department, put that extra shine on your recruiting profile. Get your disc enhanced profile today at EliteJRProfiles.com. You can also let your coaches know your whole team can sign up together. They can reach out to the great folks at EliteJRProfiles.com. Sign up for their account today. Let them know the Dan K Show sent you. Thank you to Wingman Sports Corporation. They do an incredible job. These guys are the best in the biz. Jason Clark led the whole hockey world in penalty minutes before he got into the apparel business. 0 penalties on Jason Clark so far with his uniforms and everything else. Holiday Follow Challenge starts at Thanksgiving Day. But you can get an early start on your voting if you buy the Dan K Show ugly Christmas sweater. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's ugly beautiful. You buy that today. You show proof of purchase, or you send us a great picture with you in the uniform. You can get 3 extra Holiday Follow Challenge votes. That wins your hockey player, your team, a trip from the Dan K Show for free. We come out, we cover the whole event, we do it all, bells, whistles, and everything, and we help your players get to the collegiate level all for free. If you win the competition, we're taking 2 winners this year. Thank you to the USPHL, the best league in all the land. Remember the NCDC, Tier 2 hockey, NCDC, more NHL entry-level draft picks than any competing Tier 2 league in the U.S. It's pretty pointed. That's pretty straightforward. The best league in all the land. USPHL to the moon. Dan K Show back to New Jersey. We're getting in the car. We're packing up. We're taking our robes, and we're going. Thanks for watching.
Well, now what?
I don't know. What do we do?
Now what do we do?
What do we do now? I think you got to turn off the mic.
You turn off the mic or the camera first?
The camera first, probably. You
Probably
usually
the
go get the camera.
I'm actually, you know what I realized? I don't have to do this whole weird
You
walk.
just hit off.
I can just right here.
Yeah, I don't know why you've been doing it the way you've been doing it.
Bye, folks.
Bye, everybody.